Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's your girl Lisa, and this is another edition of Hey Y'all. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday. It's not Saturday. What day is it, y'all? Y'all know what? When you ain't got no job, you don't know what day it is. But it's Friday. It's Saturday somewhere. Or is it? No, is it Saturday somewhere? For real? Is it for real? I guess it's 7 o'clock, so it must be Saturday somewhere. It's somebody what? Is that 5 hours ahead of us? I don't know. So I hope everybody's having a good Friday. I hope everybody have a good day. It is, to me, it is no November. That means, yeah, I know how to say no. So I'm just going to teach others the beauty of the word no all November long. Do you know? Can you know? Will you know? All November long. Huh? Okay, cool. Hey, Leilani. Hey, y'all. Yes, I'm telling everybody no or more. I don't even think I can tell more people no. It's about setting a boundary. It's about not being available for everybody all the time because if you're like that, then you don't have anything left for yourself. So, I got a couple people in here. I'm not good at small talk, y'all, which is why a lot of times I just get straight into what we're talking about. So as you can see from the title, my title is I Love Being a Black Woman. And yes, I do. I do. I do. I wouldn't want to be anything else. And I know that it is not the easiest thing to be. But I love being a black woman. But today, I have just been confronted with situations that are disturbing to me. I can't see. You got the chat up there? Because I'm not looking at the chat because I get distracted. If I need to say hello to somebody. Uh, so on TikTok, it's my normal scanning that I do on TikTok. Because I don't listen to Drake. Let's start by that. I don't listen to Drake. I have listened to some of his songs that have a nice beat, and every now and again he get a good, he get a good little ditty bop going, and I'm cool with that. But for the most part, not my flow, not my jam. Hey, me tell the truth. Hold on, let me see. I'm sitting in the parking lot saying, "Oh, okay. Good evening, everybody." Oh, I'm not finna. I feel you. Shoot, I had to do that at one of Nick's soccer games. It was April the 1st. This is all off topic. Leilani, it was April the 1st. It snowed, sleeted, hailed, and rained that day. All the same day. And they made them kids play soccer. So I understand. And it was down a hill in some grass. So I understand I want to fall. Anyway. Good evening, everybody coming in. I'm gonna randomly say that as we go along. I don't look at the chat when I'm doing a hey y'all because I get distracted. And hey y'all is not quite as long as real talk. Hey y'all is kind of just my take on certain things. And I try to address y'all as I get to it, but I don't look at the chat constantly. So if I miss anybody, I sorry. So it's on TikTok. Because if I wasn't on TikTok, let me tell y'all something. A lot of this shit, excuse me, a lot of stuff that especially has to do with rappers and people that are younger than me, I won't see and I won't hear about it. I don't listen to their music. I mean, for the most part, I don't listen to Drake. I don't listen to a lot of the newer male rappers. And I only listen truthfully to the newer girls when they got a little nasty song and I think it's cute. Or if it's not cute, I'll say that too. So the newer rap is I don't go out anymore, and it's more club oriented. It ain't something you just sit around the house and blast unless you cleaning. You know what I'm saying? Or get ready for the club. So you put that music on, so I wouldn't hear it. So Drake dropped the song, him and 21 Savage. And in the song, he referenced two black women, Megan Thee Stallion and Serena Williams. One reference was to Megan Thee Stallion lying about being shot. Now, I know this story just generally that at some point, I guess her and Tory Lanez were dating and they were at a party somewhere. They got into a little altercation, a little argument back and forth. As she was leaving, he shot her. She got shot in the foot. And then he lied about it and had everybody thinking that she was crazy and she was stupid. Um, so he referenced that. And then he referenced Serena Williams' husband, calling her husband a groupie, calling out Serena Williams about her choice of husbands. I guess because he's not black. What was the necessity of calling out these two strong, beautiful black women? What was the necessity? You and Megan ain't friends. I haven't heard her say anything about you. And I'm on TikTok quite a bit. And if somebody say if somebody say some foul stuff, they talk about it. They talk about rap beef and all that good shit. So I haven't heard Megan Thee Stallion, actually, unless somebody comes from Megan Thee Stallion, I haven't heard her talk negatively about anybody, male or female, black or white. She say her little nasty stuff. She talk a little shit about fucking your man, and she go on about her business. She graduates from college. She gets her degree. She gets her paper, and she's a cover girl. That's all I ever heard this little girl do. Now you can be mad because you don't appreciate her style of music. You cannot listen to her, but you can't be mad at her hustle. She did the shit right. She went to college, she got a degree, she came out and she decided that, you know what, I got a flow, so I'm gonna see if I can make some money off of it. And that's what she did. What you mad about? So I haven't heard her talk about anybody. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't follow them like that. These are just things that sparked off a feeling in me. Serena Williams, the GOAT. She is a strong image of what you want your little girl to be like. Hell, so is Megan. You may not appreciate the words in her song, but you cannot knock her hustle and what she has done for herself. So both of these women are good role models outside of their professions. You don't hear anything about Serena Williams being here and there and everywhere and talking reckless and you know what I'm saying? You hear about her playing tennis, getting married, having a baby, being on TV every now and again, and breaking records. That's what you hear. Outside of the lyrics of Megan Thee Stallion song, all that aside, what do you hear that she's done? What was his necessity to put these derogatory lyrics in his song? Because that's what people are going to remember. That is what people are going to see. That is what people are going to process. They're going to talk about, yeah, Drake right. Megan lied about this, that, and the third. She ain't have to come for that black man. Well, guess what? That black man had to shoot her. That black man had to come out and put her business out there. That black man didn't have to come out and call her a lie, call her a hoe, call her all this stuff. She didn't call him out of his name. He shot her. She didn't say anything at first. But then come on now. Come on now. Day after day after day after day. Hey, Rico, I see an attack on black women as a whole. If we raise our voice, we're too aggressive. We're violent. Black men get on TikTok, get on social media talking about the reason why they don't date, why they date white women is because black women are too this and too that. Not because they love the woman they're dating, regardless of her ethnicity, but because we black women are this, 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 and this. Social media and media in general does not play up the strong mother, the strong sister, the strong sisterhood. It doesn't play up our attributes. But it does allow people to talk about us in such a negative and derogatory tone all the time, and nobody says anything. And what really makes my ass itch is when other women get on here defending these men. Well, Drake wasn't talking about that. He was talking about her lying about getting ass shots. It doesn't matter. What was he talking about her for anyway? What is the necessity of dissing somebody in a song? Because I feel like when you got to go that route, that's because you ain't got nothing to say. That because you are trying to hide the fact that you have been useless for a long time. That you are trying to hide the fact that you've been trashed for a very long time. So instead of standing on your music and your artistry, you want a little controversy. You want a little click view music. That's what we've all come down to. Even me to a point. I'm right now on a YouTube live asking you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So a lot of us, that's what our lives have come to in certain situations. But see, here's the thing. I wouldn't have said anything about Drake had he not said something about black women. And I'm not saying that Megan Thee Stallion and Serena Williams can't stand up for themselves, because they can. But the reality is that if we allow that to go on with them, what does your sister, your mother, your aunt, your homegirl, what chance do they stand? When somebody says something about them, and instead of looking at your girl going, you know what, that's not my girl, you going, well, maybe that's her. Well, why did he say it? He wouldn't have said it if it wasn't some truth to it. Yeah, black women do get a little loud. Yeah, we do get a little this, we do get a little that. Everybody does. Why does the world assume that black women are the only people that know how to cuss? We the only people that know how to scream and holler. That we the only people that know how to get passionate about a situation. But why are we the only people? Why are black women the only people that are, what's the word I'm trying to use? Why are we the only one berated for being passionate about our children, about our men, about our women, about whatever? If somebody else is passionate, they're passionate. They have this feeling. They have so much they want to share. But as a black woman, we're aggressive. We're violent. We're loud. We're crude. We can say the exact same thing that a woman of another ethnicity says, and that person will be an amazing speaker. That's a beautiful point they had. But we'll say the exact same thing in the exact same tone. Why are you so mad? Why are we always the mad ones? Why are we always the upset ones? Why are we always the angry ones? Why are we never the passionate ones? Why are we never the caring ones? Why are we never the ones who are trying to uplift? And y'all can't say that it's just me and I'm just picking and I'm just seeing stuff where it's not. video after video after click after view after like after thumbs up after thumbs down are videos of Black women not being able to be passionate without being called something else. And I'm not about to say that we don't get in our feelings and show the hell out, because I do. But so does everyone. So does every woman I know, black, white, green, purple, or orange, gets passionate about something. Now, I'm sure there are people who don't. And I'm not talking about you or to you. If you don't get passionate about anything, if you don't understand raising your voice and feeling strongly about something, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That means I'm not talking to or about you. But to the women who get passionate about their children, what's the difference between a white mama getting passionate and a black mama? How often do you hear the media describe two mamas, just different color, the same way? How often do you find that? How often do you hear us shown in a positive light? And I'm not just talking about celebrities. I'm talking about politicians, news anchors. If a black news anchor, female, dresses a certain way or has her hair a certain way, that's inappropriate. That's not ladylike. That's not business enough. But nobody else is told that. Nobody else is told that. Because let me tell you something, if they were telling that to other ethnicities, to other races, trust me, somebody would have made a video about it. We are the most duplicated, cosplayed, and appropriated. Our hairstyles, our clothing, our jewelry, hell, our fingernails, the way we speak. But if we do it, there's an issue, there's a problem. And I'm not talking about outside of our community. I'm talking about other black men and women tearing down black women. I'm talking about black women making excuses for black men, degrading black women. I'm talking about black men being silent and watching it happen. You don't hear white men doing that to white women. You don't hear white men getting on here talking about the reason I date black women is because white women do this, and that. You don't hear that. But every other video I see, there's a whole set of people on TikTok talking about they're going to get passports. Black men are going to get passports and go to other countries to get wives because of how American black women act. I don't see that about anybody else. And if y'all see it, let me know. I could be wrong. I don't see everything. I don't hear everything. But in my world and what I see and what I hear, I don't see that. I have a black daughter and a black granddaughter on the way, and I have to worry about how people perceive them. And if I'm not there to have their backs, will anybody else be? It's the same way with black men, but right now, we're talking about black women. I love I love us. I love my people. I love our ability to overcome. I love our ability to find the funny and the joke. I love our ability to love and laugh. But why did Drake have to put these two women in his song and not be positive about it? Now I know that it's a southern thing and everybody don't know it. Cause my grandmama used to tell me all the time, if you can't say nothing nice, you welcome, baby. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. Now, growing up, I heard that a lot. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't always go with that. Because I talk about people, but I don't talk about just general. I'm not just going black women this, black women that, white women this, white women that. I talk about the person that did it. Person that wore the ugly shoes. Ooh, why her shoes look like that? I'm not talking about everybody's shoes. I don't talk about everybody's shoes because the white lady wore the shoes that I don't like. I don't like, let me tell you something. I don't like boots with the toes out. I don't like them on anybody. I think it's ugly. I think it's stupid. Why the hell you wearing boots with your toes out? But that's me. And anybody who wear them, I think it's ugly. But I'm not gonna talk about everybody boots because just the boots with the toes out, and it's just the one person I saw with the ugly boots with the toes out. It's not everybody because I didn't see everybody. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If let me tell y'all something. I believe in equal opportunity. I believe in if you say it, you got to be able to handle what come at it. So if Megan Thee Stallion had to say some old messed up stuff about Drake and Drake did his song, I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem with beef. I was raised on hip hop. I was raised on, hey, I was raised on battle rap and I was raised on folks talking about your mama. So if she said something about him and he came back in his song, do your thing, Pimpin'. But unless I am incorrect, and I could be, I don't remember her saying anything publicly about this boy. And Serena Williams and her husband are not rappers. So I'm positive they didn't make a song talking about him. He said something about her husband being a groupie and something about Serena. I forget. I don't know the exact lyric. I shouldn't know anything. There should not be a lyric in his song about anybody other than somebody who's done something to him, either positively or negatively. There shouldn't be anybody in his song that ain't did nothing to him, either positively or negatively. It's like every time Lizzo breathes, somebody talking about all this diabetes and hypertension this little girl got. Let me tell y'all something. Coming from a fat kid, coming from a fat adult, I did not get hypertension. I did not have high blood pressure. I did not breathe hard when I walked until I got in my 40s. I was fat the whole time. I was climbing trees. I was running. I was walking. I was working 12-hour shifts on my feet the whole time. So stop talking about fat folks because you don't like fat people. Don't be one. Every time Lizzo do something, she fat, she nasty, and somebody got something to say about this girl. And she ain't said nothing about nobody. Every time you turn around, somebody got something to say. And it's just not outside. People. It's just not people outside of our community. It is the people within our community that really blow me. Recently, we've been having this Kanye West mess with him talking about the Jewish community and George Floyd and slavery and all this stuff. And somebody said, and it blew me, The reason he made the White Lives Matter shirts was because he had a white wife and her life mattered. What? The whole time Kim was with Kanye, the last thing she wanted to be was white. Now y'all broke up. He had a white wife. The only time they claim whiteness is when it suits them. But now you done made some shirts and trying to be funny because you got a white life and her life mattered. That's what you make. Yeah, okay. All right. We didn't. Okay. Go with. I'll go with it. I'll go with it. But and I want somebody to tell me if I'm wrong. If we speak out against something, we're angry and aggressive. If we're quiet and do what you expect or want us to do, we don't care. I don't know where we can go. But I do know I'm tired of black men. And let me tell you something. I understand that Drake mama white. I get that. But let me let y'all in on a little secret. Let me let y'all in on a little secret. And I'm going to say this. And I've written it on TikTok, and I don't think I've said it on Facebook, and maybe I have. But so I'm going to say this so that it can have a documentation. I can have it archived. To all the biracial people all across the world where you have one black parent and one white parent, the world does not see your white parent. I have never been mistaken for a white woman. As light as I am, as green as my eyes are, I have never been mistaken for a white woman. I was called nigger, black girl, never been mistaken for a white woman. They do not see your white parent. As much as you want them to, as much as you want to separate yourself from your blackness, that is what they see. Colin Kaepernick, black quarterback. What's the little boy? What's his name? What's the little black quarterback from Kansas City who says he's not black? What's his name? What's his name? Somebody. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Leilani. What's his name? But anyway, every time I see this, and I'm older, so I'm glad. I love to see young people taking up the mantle of activism and standing up for themselves, standing up for the black community. I love to see that, but I see so many biracial people thinking that yes, you're biracial. Yes, you have a white and a black parent, and yes, you have both of those ethnicities running around inside of you. But let me tell y'all what the world sees. Let me tell y'all what the world sees from the perspective of a 55-year-old biracial woman. They see a black woman. Well, what's the boy's name, baby? What's his name? What's his name? The boy. The boy name. Anyway, we'll get back to that. All they see is your blackness. That's all they see. They don't see your white mama. They don't see your white daddy. They don't see that. Now they might make jokes about you being an Oreo, about you being this, and the third. But it's society. They don't say the biracial quarterback. They don't say the biracial cop. They don't say the biracial this, the biracial that. They say the black quarterback, black cop, the black teacher, the black mama, the black daddy. In America, no amount of whiteness can erase our blackness. And we have to embrace it all and be cool with that. I'm not saying forget half of you. I'm not saying don't honor half of you, but I'm saying that make you be a whole person. Understand that society is not going to boil you down to one word, biracial. Now you may say it, you may say I got a black this and a white that, but when the cops pull you over, it's a black woman. When you go to school, it's a black man. When you get married, you can put black and white, but they're going to see that black first. And I'm sorry. And I wish it would change. I thought it would have changed by now. I really did, y'all. I naively thought that as time went on and laws changed and people became more knowledgeable and we had more social media and more internet access and more just education access, that it would change and we could be one and we could be united and we could not stand on our ethnicity or our race, because there's a difference, y'all. Race, ethnicity, all that, that's different. I'm not the same thing. I thought it would change. I thought we wouldn't have to still feel the weight of the past. I thought that as times changed, our shoulders would get a little less heavy. But stupidly and naively and blindly, I thought that. I thought with each generation, we would see how seamlessly we can work together and how the difference is really only a few shades. But that's not it. That's not it. 2022, you got high school students going into Walmart in blackface with prisoner costumes on. And the white students were the police. Well, they were all white, but the blackface were the prisoners. You still got white kids asking black kids to the prom by saying, I could have picked cotton, but instead I'm picking you. Like, that's funny. In 2021, they prom. In 2022, yeah. In 2022, that's still happening. And I don't understand why. So now I gotta open my eyes and I gotta shake off that, well damn, it should have changed into that it ain't. And that the activism might need to come back, because we can't keep having this. We can't keep putting and we can't keep putting our black women down. We can't keep attacking our black women because they know nobody will say anything. So to the people, and this is not everybody, if you don't do these things, and I'm not talking to or about you, to the people that do it, they know nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to back them up. Nobody's going to come out and say, hey, don't do that. That ain't cool. That ain't right. Because nobody does. They make a joke about it. The first thing they say when they say something derogatory, when they call us out of our names, or talk about somebody being too light to be black, or being too dark to be pretty, or it's just jokes. I was just joking. I didn't mean it. It was just for fun. Like I told y'all, my mama told me if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing. And for a lot of people, that would mean you couldn't say nothing ever. Excuse me, my throat's itching. Anybody say anything, baby? Hold on, y'all. Look at the chat. Oh, y'all got the person. Okay, thank you, y'all. All right. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry about that. I just, it just blew me. You know what I'm saying? It's, I look at, I look at black women because when I was raised up, when I was growing up, it was the black mamas and grandmamas that took care of all the kids. That you ain't have to be related to call them mama. You didn't have to be a cousin to come in the house and get a good meal. You didn't have to be related to have a good, warm, safe place to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It was the mamas, it was the grandmamas, great grandmamas. If you wanted to see, if you wanted to see somebody take $10 and make a $3,000 outfit, that's a black woman. We'll go down to the little store, whatever store, especially in a small town. Give a black woman $10 in 20 minutes. She at the club looking like she done been to Versace, Gucci. You want a hairstyle? That's us. That baby hair, those box braids, those big hoop earrings, the long fingernails, the clothes, the makeup, gold teeth. You know, growing up, you always had that one auntie, smooth as silk. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That one auntie just smooth as silk, just coming in hair laid to the side. She always had that fur coat. Always looked new. Didn't know how she did it. It was the one coat, but it always looked like it just came out the store. She always wore that burgundy fingernail polish, and them nails was always laid and shiny. Smell like cocoa butter. And some perfume you knew the perfume cost like $3,000 when it probably came from Walmart for 10. Walking around with that little bag that had them cigarette pouch. You got that little leather cigarette pouch with her money and her card and her cigarettes, because she always had a cigarette, and it was in little skinny cigarettes. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That's who you wanted to look like. On TV growing up, there was not a lot of representation of blackness, especially black beauty. So when it hit, you was like, it hit different because of all the beautiful people you saw. It wasn't until you saw Diane Carroll come on the TV and you was like, okay, now I see me. Okay, that's my auntie right there. Because we all got that auntie that look like Diane Carroll. We all got that auntie that remind us of what's her name? Lord, my brain not working. Jesus. Angela Bassett. We all got that auntie remind us of Whoopi Goldberg, and don't let it sleep on you. Whoopi is a beautiful woman. Look at her when she was growing up. Y'all got that auntie remind us of Whoopi. Funny, got smart, cuss you out in a minute. She probably played spades. Gold rings on every finger. Gold bangles up to the elbow. That's black stuff. That's us. You go into two houses. You look in the kitchen and you see which mama cooking. Tell me which house you going to. I don't even have to tell you. My grandmama was Cicely Tyson. Everybody got a Cicely Tyson. That was my grandmama. That was my mama. Go into two houses right now. Look in the kitchen and tell me which grandmama you staying with. Don't worry, I'll wait. Women of color, and especially black women, nobody comes to our aid. They quick to call us out. They quick to talk about all that is bad. But nobody will talk about all that is great. Like the greatness doesn't exist. When the greatness outweighs the bad. Yes, ma'am. When I was growing up, y'all, I would get in the mirror. I think I done told y'all this. I would get in the mirror and my hair was long. So when it got wet, it was really curly. It was really afro-y. So I wet it and I get in the mirror. And I would take my mom's makeup. My mom is dark. She looks like Cicely Tyson. She's the color of Cicely Tyson. So I would take her makeup and I wouldn't put it on my face because stuff made my face itch, so I didn't put it on my face. But I put it on like the back of my hand and I put my hand up to my face and I wanted to be darker. I wanted to look like my grandma. Not that I thought I was ugly. Don't get it twisted. Now, when I was growing up, I was, because I matured physically early. It wasn't that I didn't like myself. It was like I didn't like the attention that I had. Because not knowing why it wasn't right, I knew it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't particularly care for the attention that my physicality brought. But I had no problem with my color, my hair, my eyes, none of that. It's just that I wanted to be, because my grandma was the most beautiful woman. My mom, who's not dark, but she's about color DC, maybe a little bit lighter, maybe color of the real sister. That's my mom. Beautiful. I just wanted to look like them. It wasn't that I hated the way I looked. It's just I wanted to look like them, but that just wasn't in the cards. So as I got older, I had to learn to love looking like me. But make no mistake about it, I love a black woman from infinity to infinity. I married one. It is just the silkiness of the skin. It's when you shea buttered and cocoa buttered up and you go out in the sun and it's like melting chocolate. You know that glisten right before chocolate melt when it's a little warm? Come on, man. You know how caramel looks fresh? Come on now. Now I'm a little vanilla latte. But when I get that tan, boy, y'all better see that tan get strong. But I have come to understand that Black women come in all colors, from the lightest of us to the darkest of us. And there is a beauty in the way that we have to hold our head up high when nobody else will. When Rosa Parks did not stand up, when Emmett Till's mother used her tragedy and her sorrow for good, when young Black men and women walked head held high into schools where people were screaming, nigga, get out, throwing things at them. Yes. Our skin shimmers. It glistens. It's slow to crack. It's slow to wrinkle. We'll be Samuel L. Jackson's wife. I went to Alabama State University. She taught theater at Alabama State University. She is 74 years old. She looks maybe my age. Maybe. And that's just if we pushing it because we know she's Samuel L. Jackson's wife and we know he's 70 something. She is 74 years old. Angela Bassett is 64. Slow down and let me say that again. Angela Bassett is 64 years old. Halle Berry is 55, 56. She's a year older than me. Janet Jackson is a year older than me. 57. Almost 60. Hear me when I tell you. I just want to not to have to make this video. I just want to not to have to say what I'm saying. I just want to for the need not to be there. And I know it's not going to go away overnight. But what I really want is for people just to start speaking up when you see something that makes your ass itch, say it. There was no need for Drake to say anything about Megan Thee Stallion and Serena Williams in any capacity whatsoever other than calling Serena the GOAT and Megan a stallion. That's it. That's it. Both of them fine as hell. Megan, shit. Serena, okay. What's the negativity for? What's the need for the negativity? That's what's blowing me. That's what's blowing me. You call a billionaire a groupie. Well, shit. Can I get one? I don't mean no harm, baby. I mean no harm. Black don't crack, baby. Shit, black don't even wrinkle. Fuck cracking. It don't even wrinkle. It barely wrinkles. Have y'all seen Grace Jones? I'm gonna just let that sit there. When we get off here, I want y'all to Google Grace Jones 2022. I want y'all to look at Grace Jones and know the Grace Jones same age as my mom and them. She been out since back then. So that's 70 something. Hear me when I tell you, I want y'all to Google Grace Jones and tell y'all that black don't even wrinkle, let alone crack. I love all incarnations of black women, the mothers, the grandmothers. I love the little quote unquote hood rats. Ain't nothing like a little ratchet. Sometimes you just gotta cuss somebody out. Shit. Grace Jones looks the same way she did now when she was on Boomerang to when she was back in magazines. She has not changed. She is a vampire. She has not changed a bit. I want you to just Google black women and watch the pictures pop up and then look and go, how can you not just say something? But it's not, it's across the board. When was the last time somebody made a movie about a black girl that went missing or that was found dead? When was the last time? And I know right now somebody's mama is looking for their baby. We don't know about it because it's not newsworthy enough, I guess. And I'm going to bring my indigenous women into this conversation because their silence, the fact that nobody pays attention to the fact that thousands of them go missing to this day, sexually assaulted, raped, and murdered, and nobody is saying anything. Nothing. But let us do something negative, boy. We are on TV. Let us do something negative. The vlogs and the bloggers, social media, entertainment, television, TMZ. Every time, what's the little girl name? Krishan Rock. Every time she does something negative, she is plastered on there. Her and a little tooth missing and scratches on her face, but nobody puts up the fact that she won that little show. What was that show we watched? American Gladiator. Nobody knows that this little girl is a D1 athlete. All we know is about her wretchedness. It took a controversy about a flute, a crystal flute that nobody knew existed, for the world to know and pay attention to the fact that Lizzo is a classically trained flautist. We love to talk about all this ass and titties that Megan Thee Stallion shakes, but nobody wants to talk about the degree. Nobody wants to talk about her and her cap and gown. Whenever Serena would get upset about a call, she would be an angry black woman. We would make sure that that was in the vlogs and the blogs and the papers, and that was right up front. But we quietly want to debate whether or not she to go. We quietly want to debate whether or not she brought an entire race of people watching tennis. Because trust me when I tell you, we wasn't watching tennis like that before Serena started snatching people's souls on the tennis court. We wasn't. We wasn't. We don't scream the greatness. We ignore the greatness. But if there's even if there's something a little bit that we can make look bad, oh baby, it's right out there for everybody to see and everybody to have a comment on. And I mean, y'all know I try not to be political and racial and active. I just try because that's not what this channel is about. But every now and again, we have to come to terms with the fact that we black people as a people, black Americans, whatever you want to call yourselves, we have got to get together, y'all. We have got to sometimes just say, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of only seeing negative depictions of black women. I'm tired of crackheads and prostitutes on TV. It's getting a little more. We're seeing a little more. We got a black cop and a black FBI agent, and we got a few more black people. But still, you got to go hunting for them and find them. When that's all that's out there, y'all. Black women are the most educated. A black woman will start a business with $3 and a dream, and it'll make money. We'll start a trend, but we won't have anybody let us know that maybe we should trademark it or copyright it so that somebody else can't come behind us and steal our idea. All you gotta do is look on TikTok for that. That's all you gotta do. Look on here. Black women are more likely to die in maternity situations than just about any other class of women. They don't listen to us when we go to the doctor. They don't listen to they don't listen to us. Oh, so this is about blackness, but in a different situation. So growing up, so I'm going to speak on masturbation now. So if there are any people who have the kids, or maybe the kids are listening and they may have issue with that, they don't talk openly about sexuality with their kids, I'm coming to that particular aspect of the conversation. So if you don't, no shade, no tea. I'm just what I'm getting ready to talk about. So I was on TikTok flicking as we do on TikTok, and there was a white lady, and I say that for a reason I'm going to tell you in a minute, saying that her 13-year-old daughter had asked her to buy her a vibrator. And she was responding to what somebody said about what she said. She said first she congratulated her daughter, and then she went on, but then it was a stitch. So there was somebody stitching the white lady's video. So and then black lady came on, and she was saying how she has two daughters, and she bought both of her daughters vibrators, and how her and her daughter speak openly about sex and sexuality. So I had to pause it at that, and I asked my wife because she has a daughter. I have a son. See, here's where it stuck me. It blew me. It kind of broke me for a second because I'm like, I didn't think about it in those terms. I have a son, and I would be. I don't even know. I don't even think they have a word for how clueless I would be if I didn't think that my son at some point will or has masturbated. It's natural. It is a part of learning yourself that people don't talk about because we as Americans, and even though America is very puritanical, it's very sex is quiet and we shouldn't talk about it, and don't talk about it with your kids because if you talk about it then they're going to do it and they're going to be sex scenes and da 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 da. So we don't even think about it with boys. I know I didn't. I have a son. So I didn't think about he would not necessarily need any masturbatory aids as a young man. You know what I'm saying? So, and I would be remiss in to say I would not have issue with him doing it because I know that that is a part of growing up. I know that it is not for everybody, but for those that do it, cool. I've also always been open and honest with Nick about sex. If you want to talk about it, I don't burn and beat nobody. I don't. When a husband loves the wife and they have the intercourse and she lays on her back, I don't do that. Ask me a question, I'm gonna answer the question. I'm not gonna sit up there and try to find a pretty way to answer the question because sex in and of itself is not a pretty situation. Sex is funky, nasty, sweaty, dirty, and if done correctly, it is the shit, but it's not pretty. Making love and being in love is pretty. Sex ain't pretty. It ain't porno, but it ain't pretty either. So she was going on to say, the black lady was going on to say how she talks openly and honestly with her daughters about sex, sexuality, and she understands that as they grow, getting to know themselves, that may be a part of getting to know themselves. And when her daughters asked for it, that's what they did. Cool. And it made me think because I didn't think about that stuff because you don't until you do. Until somebody gives you a reason to think about it. I'm 55. How old am I, baby? I'm 55, right? What year is this? Yeah, I'm 55. I don't know why I thought I was 56, but okay, I digress. I'm 55. It's been a long time since I was a kid that needed to masturbate. Now, did I masturbate as a child? I'm thinking I did. Not a child, as a young adult. Um, because shoot, sometimes you do it by mistake and you be like, oh, that feel good. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know it's just, anyway. But I also didn't have anybody to talk about that with. Black folks, we don't sex talk our kids. Back in the day, right? Birds and bees, keep your dress up, keep your dress down and your drawers up, and I'll be happy. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Or my grandmama gave me a book of very disgusting shit to make me not want to do it just because I could read. And I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't read because this is wrong. It's nasty. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? So there was no just open and honest talking about sexuality where there should be. Um, Nick, don't ask me no more questions because shit, I'm not gonna sit up there and say no crazy stuff. I'm gonna ask him or answer him, and I'm gonna ask him what. Hey, I think I've asked him if he had sex. He says no, and until he proves to me that he lies, I'm gonna go with that. I didn't ask him about whether or not he masturbate. I don't want to know that. But I guess now that I listened to her and she sparked that in my head, I don't know. Maybe that's something he should talk about with somebody else. I don't mind if we talk about. You know what I'm saying? I think that if we talk with our kids and be open and honest, they will find somebody to talk to that can relate to them. I can't relate to a boy masturbating because I'm not a man. I don't know. Hold on, shit. My son did. He had hand towels and Vaseline in his room 16. Now I haven't found that my daughter, but there's nothing we don't talk about, and I give it to him. Okay, hey Magdalene, right? So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think that with girls, I would have been the same way, but because I was raised when I was, I might have been a little more puritanical than I am now. But I also had Nick when I was older, so maybe I wouldn't have been because I know that there was a lot I didn't know about sex and sexuality, and I didn't know about not just the actual intercourse, but the feelings and the emotions that come along with having sex with somebody. The not just the sexual act itself, but the ramifications and the repercussions of sex. And nobody tells you that. And they should. Kids should be able to talk about that. Your kids should be able to get their feelings hurt and come tell you why. Your daughter should be able to be the some guy done told her, if you love me, you have sex with me, because they still say that shit to this day. If you really love me, I think this will make our bond even stronger. Yeah, they still say that at 15 and 16 to this day. And there are girls that still go, I love you so much. Okay, we'll try it. And don't understand the ramification. Mm-mm. Kobe over here hunching as I'm talking about sex, and it was just awful. It was just too much. Sit down, Kobe. Oh, Kobe is our nephew dog. Our nephew dog. Our few our dog few who we're babysitting, and he's a huncher. And as I'm talking about sex, he's trying to hunch Jax, but ain't no balls in the whole house except for Nick's. So, oh, Charles. All the dogs are gone. So I don't know what he hunching. But anyway, and when the lady said that she talks about her daughters about sex and bought the vibrators, I was like, I had to stop. I paused everything and I asked baby, I said, you know, I said, would you have done that? And she was like, no, that would have been weird. But then I realized that she's the same age as me. So because our parents didn't talk to us about sex like that, it imprints on how we talk about sex and how we teach our kids about sex. And she was 10 years younger than I was when she had Brittany. So yeah, she still would have been in how she was taught. So by the time Nick got here, I realized on some issues that the things that I wish my mom had to did with me, I can do with him. I can still give him the old school because I still got all the old school. But there's a little new school that I wish, because of the kind of kid I was, I wish I was talked to more. Tell me what's up. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me. I'll understand. Or at least I try to understand. So, do you talk to your children open and honestly about sex? Or do you believe in the more puritanical, how you were raised way? I don't know. You know, you know, that's something to think about. We send our little girls out there and they're in their late 20s, 30s before they have an orgasm because they don't know. They don't know how to navigate a relationship because we teach them that every date, every sexual encounter is a relationship when it's not. Everybody's not always on the same page. There were some things I wish I could talk about, you know, and I talk about with Nick, or I talked about. He's getting older. I mean, he can research now, but he still can ask questions. If your daughter gets her feelings hurt by a guy who doesn't want to have sex with her again, who doesn't call her after they had sex, can she come talk to you about that? Can your son come and ask you questions, or do you have to ask his homeboys on the bus? If your kid gets somebody pregnant or gets pregnant, are they too scared to come tell you about it till it's too late? I think even open and honest talks about sexuality helps when it's time where there's predators and molestation. If kids are scared to talk about sex, they'll be scared to talk about when somebody hurts them too. But that's something that time will change or won't. But it just it kind of hit me. I was like, well, dang. was like, that situation, I had never thought about it. Anyway, y'all, let's see how long I've been on here. Y'all have been on here an hour. Y'all know real talk. I mean, hey, y'all don't last that long. I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with me for this hour. Um, I love a black woman from infinity to infinity. I love being black, and I love and protect and honor a black woman. Love and protect and honor a black man too. Don't get twisted. Just because I don't date them, don't mean I don't love them. I made one. I love my people. Can't nobody handle a situation like us. Can't nobody get through and overcome a situation like us. But I want us to get together. I want us to stop attacking each other. I want us to stop using black women for clicks, likes, and views. I want us to stop being negative. I want us to come on, just come through for each other. Y'all make sure y'all comment down below, whatever you want. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I want to thank everybody for coming through, Leilani. I want to thank all my moderators. I want to thank everybody who comments. Kobe! Damn it. Tomorrow, real talk. Baby, real talking tomorrow. Got a little something for real talk tomorrow. So y'all come on through. Share this video. Maybe somebody else. Share it. Come on now. That's how we do. One person tell one person tell one person. And before you know it, we done told everybody. Thank you guys. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all's support. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Again, thank you for coming out. Bye, y'all. You too. Have the night y'all deserve.